Being by myself kind of left me in the dark. So I weren't doing shows for about a year. Didn't do no shows, yeah. So then when you're not doing shows, promoters stop booking you. So I stopped getting bookings. The money wasn't coming in and I wasn't inspired to make music. And yeah, I just felt like the industry kind of shut me out at that point, you know. I felt like now they see that the fans ain't following me, they don't need me anymore.
Okay, I need to say good afternoon
Come
to
on.
my bro. Ironik, G.
Yes, my G, what you saying, bro?
I'm saying it's been, we were doing the maths 8 years
It's
ago,
been
right?
a minute, yeah, it's been about 8 years. I think it might have been even longer, to be
It was
fair.
2011 or 2000. No,
10.
it was 2000, yeah.
Was it 11 or 10?
I think it was 11.
Is it? Yeah, so
Yeah.
8 years, yeah.
I remember I came down there, I was so gassed after the interview. I went to my mum, I was like, Mum, I went to Pete Waterman's studio because they had all those plaques, man.
Yeah. Soul Soliku ones, everyone.
Yeah, man. It's amazing, man.
What record was I promoting then? Do you remember? I think it was it Killed Me with McLean, maybe?
Maybe. But you know what's funny though? I remember even then, it's like, I think afterwards, I remember I was walking through and we were just talking. And even then I kind of felt like you were like, you're a deep person.
Yeah.
Do you hear me? Like, it's not, but the music was always
Yeah.
kind of like commercial sounding with the samples.
Yeah, but
you
you
were
could
saying
hear in
stuff,
the content. I was actually,
yeah, man. So like I've said this before, I'm gonna reiterate it, bro.
Yeah.
You are definitely a pioneer.
Appreciate that, man.
When I look at the timeline of what is our culture and when things actually started to become what was seen as viable, I think it was when you got signed. But even before that, it's how you were running things on MySpace.
Yeah.
That feels a little bit like
back in the day, but
MySpace.
nah, I'm proud of it, man. I'm proud of the start in it. I'm proud of the journey, bro. So yeah, even MSN, like looking back, MSN. There was 3 main ones. There was MSN that I was using to really promote my music. MSN, MySpace, and Bebo. I don't know if people remember Bebo. That was like that was more like up north kind of. But I was trying to capitalize on everyone. So the MySpace was popping, and the MSN was a bit more earlier than MySpace. I think I started just using it to like send songs to all my friends, easy, because I don't think you could send songs on phones then, or send files. But I just send music to everyone. I'd have a whole contact list on my MSN of like 1,000 people and just send them tracks, and then they'll send it to their friends, and then it'll be in the schools after that. And then went on to MySpace. And when I saw MySpace and how you could actually function them and make your own website and have your own skin layout and top 8, I was like, yeah, this is me. This is the thing. So
wait, so no one was helping you on that? Was it just you?
Nah, just me, yeah. You know, like I never got help with anything until I got signed. There was no help. It was me and my mum. And
your mum was managing you at the time?
My mum was managing me.
She's still managing you? Or
No, only the last few years she hasn't really. But yeah, so she was helping on the business side, but not really on the like social side. But yeah, that was the only help I ever had, man. Yeah, it was mad.
Crazy. I remember again going to the Channel U days. What I'm trying to like really get back is that
timeline.
That timeline, you were the biggest on socials, and your videos were impacting. And I remember thinking like, yo, how's Ironik doing this? How's he doing it? Like, you was in everyone's top 8s. Like, you could see the amount of plays in a day. It was like, it was mad. And you were touring, bro. I swear, like, but you had fans in America as well. Yeah,
that was what was weird, you know. Like, there was quite a big following from America. But do you know what I think it was? I had a big girl following, I think.
Because you know you was doing the TI thing. The hat to the side, yeah.
So I kind of capitalised on that direction. The girls liked the image, the girls liked the look, the vibe. And American girls, I think, started clocking onto the pictures, and they were like liking the picture. I don't know, was it called liking then? I'm not too sure. But you know what I mean? So the pictures were more what was getting the buzz to the page. And then I was just using that, and then I started putting out songs to go with it, so the girl songs to go with it, you know, like So Nice and tunes like that.
they were always listenable.
Yeah.
They were always listenable.
Yeah.
And it was never, like, when I used the word commercial, we didn't even know what commercial was at that time.
No.
Because no one was really getting played on radio.
No, there was no watering down. There was no thinking. I didn't even listen to radio, bro. Like, I listened to, like, maybe pirate radio, like Deja Vu, and listening to, you know what I mean, like Rough Squad or more grime. There wasn't really, I wasn't thinking about, I need to make a song for Radio 1. And I've never listened to Radio 1 in my life until I got signed. So it weren't that kind of avenue. I think my thing was more this girl avenue. I need to...
Yeah, and you owned it. And bro, there's so many things, because it's so long ago.
I know.
But you was doing, there was things you were doing on MySpace that you were really cultivating a fan base. And it was the first time that I saw an artist, actually you, and I will also mention probably down the line Bashi, when they actually looked at how to market something. When Bashi had the whole lollipop phrase.
Chopper Chops mixtape, yeah.
But you knew, girls, me, cool.
My lane.
That's my lane. And I feel at that time everyone was still trying to be the rough bad boy who's doing the clashing.
Because we were just coming from grime, like grime music. There wasn't really... The only thing that came out around that same time was like wifey rhythm. That was around that time, or maybe just a bit after. But even that sparked it in me that like I need to jump on this wifey thing as well. Like, you know what I mean? I know what Tiny's doing. I need to do something similar. Yeah, I even done a remix of Wifey at some point as well. Yeah. But yeah, all of that combined, and then just MySpace, I think they helped, like they was a good help at trying to interact with your fans or the base that you're growing. So I would do like skins that people can download and put on their page.
That's what it is. That's what that's why I was thinking that you did something. Yes.
Something that, and no one else was doing that.
There you go.
So you would go on other people's pages and see my skin on there. It's mad. Yeah, so that was kind of the first step that people was like, "Raw, this is mad," because you go on their page and hear So Nice playing automatically, and then the skin.
Yes. But they could add the player in it.
They could add the player. So I was just kind of taking over MySpace. I remember they had the MySpace charts.
Yep.
I think at one point I was like #1 alongside in the UK alongside Soulja Boy in America, and we was just dominating that for a minute.
Saying, bro, I remember that time, man. It was crazy. But
it was mad.
But when you went, so when the whole situation came up signing to Atlantic at that time, what happens in the initial meetings? Like when you go and sit down with them, like how did you walk me through how that went for you when you first sat down with the label?
So first of all, they called my house phone, my mum's house phone at first, and someone said, "Hi, we're from Atlantic Records. We've heard Ironik stuff on Channel U," because at this point I had already put out So Nice independently, and I that was the one walking in the fields with the yellow fields and that. And then I had already put out Stay With Me, but just independently, like my own video.
That song was big.
Yeah, that's the one, Walking in the Graveyard. And we put out ourselves at first, like it was a company I was working with, just some uni students. It didn't even cost much. It's mad. I think they've gone on to film adverts and that now, I heard, so that's amazing. But yeah, so we done that, and then that was blowing up on Channel U, and I think it was just getting so much play on Channel U, they had to pay attention. So they called and they said that this is someone from Atlantic Records. We really want to talk to Ironik about signing him. My mum was obviously handling the phone call at the time, and she was like, "Yeah, that would be cool, let's have a meeting." So my mum put down the phone, she called me, and she was like, "James, someone from Atlantic Records wants to sign you." And I was like, "What? Not me. Are you sure that's not a prank? Like, are you sure?" Because the thing I know about Atlantic Records is like Diddy and like T.I. I didn't even know there was a UK. You know what I mean? Like, we weren't developed like that.
No one even knew that the labels even existed.
Do you know? Like, that's not our thing, really. We was going on pirate radio and putting out Channel U videos. We loved that. So I was confused, but I said, all right, I'm going to trust it. Let's go for a meeting, and I'll believe it when I'm at the offices. That's when I'll believe it, innit? And then, I remember my mum driving us there, and we got there, Kensington, you know what I mean? I'm thinking, this is mad fancy. Got to the offices, and it was real. It was at Atlantic Records office. I was like, this is mad.
And that office is actually, it's still a buff office, bro.
It's sick, it's sick. You know what I mean? Food and drinks ready. And, and bearing in mind, like, I was so shy, like, them days. Like, you know, I was just, even the fame thing that was coming from Channel U, I didn't really know much about it. I'm genuinely a proper shy person, you know them ones. So I was in there like proper quiet, and then the woman was like, yeah, they're ready to see you now. And then we walk in now, and then there's like 3 of them. And yeah, they just basically put down the stats. We see that you're doing this on Channel U. We see that you're killing it here. Your MySpace numbers are doing really well. We want to know how we can get this Stay With Me record signed. We want to pull it from Channel U, redo the video, put in a big budget to it and sign it. And yeah, the process started from there really, sending back and forth contracts. My mum luckily knew exactly what had needed to be done and what was going on. I didn't have a clue. And then yeah, we went from there and then kind of made the deal happen in probably like 3 weeks. They was in a bit of a rush because the song was already out, doing well on Channel U. And I didn't even know how I felt about that, to be fair, pulling it off the TV and then re-releasing it. I didn't think people would like it because I'm thinking that, no, they've already heard it, man. Like, everyone's already heard it, but they're saying, trust me, the whole of England's going to hear it. Right now, you're just one kind of bit of England. You need the whole of England. And it worked out.
We're just talking about, I mean, we'll still go back over some of the things whilst you're signed. But when you get signed at that point, what expectations do they have for you? You know when they say like, oh, it's going to go to this, go to that. When does the pressure of actually trying to sell records filter into you now?
The pressure for me didn't really kick in. Like, it was still all fun for me up until probably like the release week of the record. Like, that was when it started getting real, when you start hearing, you know, we got to do this numbers, we got to make sure we're here, we got to be in this point at the charts at the midweek, and then I'm thinking, oh, I thought we were just having fun and you just give me a big check right now. But yeah, like at the start of it, it was just fun. Like, we shot the video straight away. You know, you're getting sent free clothes, you're styled. I'm going from, remember, Shy Boy to big budget video. You know, 100 people working on set. So I'm thinking this is mad, and it was all fun, to be fair, at the start. But yeah, and then once the record comes out, the week of it, that's when the pressure starts kicking in. Because even with Stay With Me, it was a slow builder in the chart. So even they was like, have we done the right thing here? Because I think by the midweeks, it was number 20 or number 25. Which sounds good now, because top 20 is still good, top 30 is still good, but they was like, nah, we signed him thinking this is going to be mad, top 5 at least. So I just started going crazy on MySpace, on my socials, just how people do now really, but just on MySpace and MSN, and started telling everyone buy, everyone support, and just going crazy on the campaign. And then, yeah, by the end of the week, it ended up being number 5. So they was kind of relieved by that. I was happy with that as well.
So when it goes to like number 5, did you have like, you must have a big release, I mean a big party.
Yeah, we was excited, man. Everything was just go from there, like TV appearances, shows. So yeah, like I said, there wasn't really mad pressure, not at that point, because like I said, we haven't seen anyone else come out yet like this. So for them, this was still a win, number 5 in the charts. You know what I mean? Who else has done this at this level so far?
So this is the era of who else has done
it. Yeah.
And it was
literally, yeah. I remember when the song went to 25, I saw Tinchy Strider out somewhere. It might have been at Ministry of Sound. When it was in the midweeks at number 25, he come up to me, he was like, bro, I heard your song's at number 25. That is mad. Like, because we ain't heard of that even, going to number 25 since like So Solid Crew. And I was thinking, thank you, my bro, but I'm hoping the label are happy with wherever it goes, man. Yeah. And then, yeah, it went to number 5, so yeah.
That song does well. What was the follow-up then?
We put out a record after that called Wanna Be Your Man.
Yes.
And we filmed that in Paris and stuff. I think that was when pressure started coming on as well. Because you have to...
Do you remember how much those videos were costing those times?
That was costing a lot. That video especially cost a lot. It cost at least... We probably spent altogether about 60 grand.
60 grand?
Mm.
Wow.
That's mad. Remember, I got to pay that back though.
I mean, at that point, were you aware of how much?
Nah.
Your mum was keeping that from you?
My mum was keeping that from me, but I weren't clocking up that I got to pay for these free Ubers and Addison Lees, you know what I mean? Like, I was getting Addison Lees left and right from the offices to...
They give you your own account, innit?
They give me my own account.
And you're thinking, yeah.
I'm thinking this is lit, like, I might take this to Manchester. Bearing in mind, like, this all comes off as soon as, you know what I mean, we're recouping that back, like. Yeah. So that was when the pressure started coming out, and they was like, we need a follow-up single. And I had Wanna Be a Man, I already made that one. I had a sample as well. Bearing in mind, Stay With Me had a sample also. It was a Westlife sample, so
already now, there's no real back end. But
right now, I'm not really making the P's yet. So, Wanna Be a Man is a Zapp and Rogers sample as well. So, these samples are getting mad. But yeah, they was like, all right, let's put this one out next. And yeah, we hope it does well. We shot the video in Paris, but it didn't feel like that was gonna be the next like big single. So the pressure was on then. Like, if you put out a banger or a hit, you're thinking like, what am I gonna put out next? Like, if this ain't working, then what happens next? Yeah. I don't want to be one of them one hit kind of, you know what I mean? So it's still done well. It went to number 28 or 30, I think. So it's still top 30.
Do you know, it's just triggering that thought. I remember, I do remember that time. Because I remember, like, we were always looking to you, like, what's Ironik gonna do
next?
You were the possibilities.
Yeah.
Did you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think also at that time, it wasn't competition, but then, as you said, other artists were now
started bubbling.
Yeah.
N-dubs were creeping up. I think they might have just been signed. So there was a few creeping up, but yeah, I was just a tiny bit more ahead in the release schedule. Yeah. So people were like, and even till now, people would still look like, what are you doing next, or what's gonna be next? Yeah. Like, I think that just comes with being one of the first to break through, I guess. But
so when did you start feeling that something's not
this record?
Or this disconnecting, or
just to be fair, I didn't really like the video for that song, to be fair, and I don't know if that helped or didn't help the marketing for it. But it just didn't do that good, man. It done alright, but it didn't do as well as we expected, especially having a follow-up. We was gonna put out the album straight after that, and everything. So we kind of panicked, and they put me back in the studio after that. Okay. And then I was doing sessions that I didn't even want to do, bro. Like, I was coming from recording in my bedroom, yeah? That's why I made Stay With Me, all of them.
Chip was recording in your bedroom?
Me and Chip were recording in my bedroom. Like, I used to produce records for him. That was where I was comfortable. And then at this point, they was putting me in mad big studios with, you know, producers from LA. And I guess this is what they do, innit, once they sign someone. But I weren't comfortable, to be fair, so I wasn't making my best quality music. And then one day, A&R, Matt Chalk, came and said, I've got this sample I think you should try use for your next single. And it was Elton John's Tiny Dancer. And at first I was like, I don't know, man, I don't know. We need a different avenue, because this sample thing is mad, for one, and for two.
So at that point, were you clocking on that it's not going to make sense for you in the future?
Yeah, kind of. I'm getting older a bit, a couple of years are going by, and I'm starting to think this is a bit, because the percentages that they're taking, you know what I mean? I'm not left with hardly anything at this point. But anyway, it was cool. It's all helping what I'm doing. So I wasn't trying to be too negative about it. I was trying to be positive, because having a record with Elton John, I tried to look at the positives. That's a massive big deal. So it will help my career out. So I wasn't too sure, because at that point, a lot of my fan base were into like urban music. So I didn't know how they would like that. And they were quite young as well. I remember a lot of young girls were following me, 13, 14-year-olds. They didn't.
Yeah, that audience.
So I didn't know if they would know who even Elton John is. But yeah, so we did it. They put me in the studio, we recorded it, and then I was thinking, there's still something missing from this. For it to work, we need something else. And then I said to my A&R, let's hit it up. I got Chipmunk, he's just been signed. Let's hit him up for a verse, man, see what he can do. And we hit him up, he came through straight away, and yeah, went from there. And then I was back.
I remember you guys were like swag. What were you not wearing? Were you like
suits?
Yeah, suits.
Yeah, tuxedo type suits. Yeah, I remember that day of the shoot, it was mad fun, man. Big up Chip.
Yeah, man. Okay, correct me, did that go number 3?
Yeah, that went to number 3, yeah.
Number
That's
3.
actually Elton John's biggest selling digital record ever, so.
Really?
Yeah, mad.
So then that comes out.
So then I'm not a one-hit wonder anymore.
Right. So now everyone's happy again, pats on back.
They're happy, they're gassed, let's put out the album now.
Yeah.
So they put me back in the studio. We work on the album, this album called No Point in Wasting Tears, which was my first album. We pull in a few features, you know, Young Nate, if you remember him.
Yep, I remember,
Yeah, he was on there, a couple others. Wiley was on Stay With Me remix. Gets and Tinchy was on a record. Yeah, we had a few, man. And I think we put out the album about a month after that. Done well. I went top 20 as well, top 15. Yeah.
But were the label happy?
They were happy, yeah. I think they thought the album was going to do a tiny bit better than that. Because I think we sold about 60,000, maybe a bit more. They thought it was going to do. The singles were selling like 500,000 and that, so.
Really?
Yeah, they were thinking it was going to do a bit more.
That's what your singles were selling in time?
Yeah. We've sold quite a bit now.
So like that skipped, because obviously them times I'm not seeing numbers like that. So
yeah.
Do you know, I mean, you probably do because I know your numbers guy. Do you know what you're sitting roughly around?
Altogether?
Yeah.
Probably about 1.3 million maybe.
Wow.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
It's crazy.
Sick.
And that's purchases.
Purchasing, yeah.
Purchases, yeah.
And we would do little tricks like because it was CDs as well at that time. We would put in the posters with them for the girls and things like that.
It was about merchandise as well.
Yeah, merchandise. And for even that time, because CDs were kind of going out, iTunes was popping.
Yeah.
But we were selling quite a lot of CDs for that time, to be fair. Like a lot of people were buying CDs, man.
Yeah. So here we go, albums out.
Albums out, man.
Are you making money now? Have you recouped yet?
I think I did. Well, no, I don't think I did actually.
So okay, so this is.
I'm making money from shows.
Shows.
We're doing a lot of shows at that point.
Yeah. So at this point now, you're perceived to be making money. I swear you used to wear like some cross. Was it like? Did you
yeah.
Like,
the chain. Yeah.
So
I had a few. Yeah.
You had a few, and now it's like Ironik's got paper because everything's illuminated.
Everything's glossy. Everything's looking mad.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with that part when it's just like you're looking like the guy who's got it all?
I'm still living at home.
Right.
Yeah, but bearing in mind, I didn't even have a business mind then. Like now, I think people have probably learned from either my mistakes or whoever was after me's mistakes, because we were the first.
Yep.
So I wasn't even thinking I'm making this money or I'm getting this, I need to do this, I need to pattern up this, invest in this. I wasn't even thinking that yet. So I was just enjoying the ride of being Ironic and having the fame, but not actually thinking too smart yet.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really I weren't really like, I need the money, I need all this, why ain't I got the money yet? I weren't really thinking that yet, so, yeah.
Did it ever get to a point, and this is something I feel for artists, when you're young and you say, not impressionable, but like me, I'm Nigerian, bro, and any cousins I've got in Nigeria think I'm the richest man in the world. Did you ever get situations where people like saying, like James, like
100%.
Like, so walk me through that. How do you deal with that part of expectations of people?
So people, I still get that now. Even up until now, like people think, you know, I've got this big mansion in the countryside, living lavish. Like people, especially the way my videos were perceived and the whole image of me was the glasses, the jewelry. It was a perception of this guy has gone clear now, I think. So people were always, you know, thinking I was that guy with a lot of money and asking for favors and expecting for me to pay for things and pay for this. To be fair, not really family. I never really had family come to me that much and expect much, but just people around and, you know, I'd clock little things, yeah.
Maybe do a feature for me, like, you get me a deal, or, you know what I mean? I can imagine.
You know, I did notice just a couple of family members that I've never met before, you know, come out and come online, and I'm so proud of him, and I've never met them, but yeah, things like that.
Yeah. What point from there? So, because I remember up to the first album. Did you do a second album, man?
Well, we only put out the second album in the last 3 years, but I put out little things in between. So
the time when we met, were you still in Atlantic then?
No, so that was after. That was after 2010. So So after Tiny Dancer...
what year did you get signed?
I got signed in 2007 or 8.
So this is why it makes sense to me now why Harvey would have probably been the only person you could have spoken to, because after So Solid,
there was a gap.
There was nothing. I think, when did Oi come out? Maybe Oi was...
Was that before So Solid or?
No, I'm just thinking about in terms of like 2008. Oi came out maybe what 15.
Okay.
So bro, I can't even do the maths.
What year was that though? I would like to know as well. Them like.
Yeah, man, I wish I had a research with me, man. But,
what year was So Solid crew?
So Solid was, they were 01.
Wow. So we had a big gap.
Do you get what I mean? And then it was So Solid, and then I think Oi came out, and then
that was it.
And then, but then when you came, you were the artist that sparked the mass signings. Because it wasn't like, okay, cool, there's Lethal B and More Fire, and then someone else is getting signed. It's like, these guys that just did it. So I think it was So Solid. I think we had More Fire. Sway, he did his thing, but he stayed independent.
Sway did his thing, yeah.
North London, big ups.
Yeah, big up Sway.
And then you. So that's why I was always wondering, like, when you're going through it, as I was saying about the isolating thing.
Yeah, it was like that, to be fair. There wasn't anyone really to talk to. Like, I was just doing it by myself, bro. So, yeah.
So what, I mean, we spoke about, labels. The bottom line is nothing's really changed. They're reactive.
Yeah.
They look at what's going on.
Yeah.
Can of beans are selling. We need more can of beans. Have you got can of beans for us? We want to sell that. Yeah. Cool.
And that's actually how we kind of parted ways as well after that, I would say.
So walk us through, when did you feel the shift then, when you thought, this isn't for me anymore, or this isn't for them?
So after the album, we was like, cool, we was ready to sign a deal for a second album. So paperwork was being sent, advances were being sent, numbers were being sent round. And I was happy. I was like, yeah, let's do that. I started making more music. I done a few records. I done Slow Down. We actually put that out ourselves. We had a remix of Skepta, Scorcher. I don't know if you heard that one. It's one of my favourite records I've done. But yeah, so I was working on records. I was sending it to them. They were hearing it. They was like, cool, we like this, we like that. And then at this time, Tiny Temper started coming out with Pass Out. I started hearing it here and there, hearing about this. I started hearing about this record. And that was another change to what we was doing, because we was making kind of like pop records, innit? We was making pop records. But people say we was making pop records. I don't think that even me, N-Dubs or Chip were making anything that we didn't want to make, by the way. I just want to put that out, because a lot of people say that, but I never got, apart from the Elton John sample, I never got told any direction. All them songs I made on my own back. But yeah, so Tiny was coming out, and then the label started hearing about it. I think they even tried to sign it, maybe. And then I think, yeah, that done well. And then he put out, at the same kind of time, he put out another song. It might have been...
Frisky?
No, it was in between that. It was not Drinking from the Bottle. It was like that electronic. Him and Calvin Harris had one, didn't they?
Yeah, I'm trying to...
Or Dum 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 Dum. Miami to Ibiza.
Yes.
So that was out. And then they were like, we need you to make a record like this. Like, this is what we want, that electronic Calvin Harris stuff. And I'm not...
I mean, but do they specifically, because the thing is, like, do they call you up and say, look, I mean, I wonder, how does someone come to an artist and say...
Well, your A&R would come in the studio and direct you and say, I don't know if this is working, this is what we need.
And that must be, I'm just paraphrasing, that must be somewhat offensive. It's like, if I'm creating, I want to make the music that I like and I know my fans.
100%.
And who are you apart from, no disrespect.
You've done your thing, but I know my fans and where I've come from. I'm not a manufactured artist. You found me in my bedroom. I already had the setup. I had thousands of followers on MySpace. I was doing my thing. Yep. So why are you trying to change what I want to do? And that's how it feels.
But I think, when people look back at it, they probably thought you were manufactured.
Yeah.
So, like, some people would look at, not manufactured, but they look at it like...
glossy, innit?
Yeah, it was ironic, tinchy, and that was that.
Yeah.
So not that you're manufactured, because you are the quintessential DIY artist.
Yeah.
He did it by
100%,
himself.
yeah.
Did it by himself. And I think a lot of people look at, and we'll get back to what you're saying, but a lot of people look at the illumination of what you did.
Yeah.
And how you grew thereafter. But like I said, unless you was of that generation, I remember going on MySpace and thinking.
And seeing it.
You've
seen it, yeah.
I've seen it, bro. It was real.
Yeah. And even before that, like, I've grinded, man. Like, I've studied the game for one, and I've worked hard from being a DJ to producing to then writing.
Which is overlooked.
All of that is overlooked. But, you know, the main bits is obviously the artist side, which came after. But all of that, and just coming from garage music to then, you know what I mean, going into grime and DJing grime music, and then going into, you know what I mean, just doing my own thing. Like, I worked hard for that, man.
So you're saying, you said that they heard the tiny ripples of his music, and they wanted you to follow suit.
Yeah, that was the direction they wanted me to go in, man.
And then, how did you react to that then?
So now looking back, I do wish I was a bit more open to that, because there's nothing wrong with like trying. Do you know what I mean? But at that time, I was a shy young, kind of not ignorant, but like I know what I'm doing, and I want to make like urban music. I don't want to cross over. So people even say that I crossed over and sold out, but they could have even made me go even more.
Yeah.
But now looking back, like if I had the chance to work with someone like Calvin Harris now, I probably would, which sounds mad, but you know what I mean? Like, I guess music's changed now. Yeah. But at that time, I didn't really want to do it, man. So I said I'll give it a go. They put me in a studio with like some house producers. We tried out a few things, and it didn't really work. It didn't suit what I was doing. Like, remember, I come from making songs for girls, and I don't know, it just didn't really fit me, if I'm being 100% honest. So I said, this is what I've made. If you lot don't like it, then I don't know, we're gonna have to part ways, man. Yeah. So it weren't even a drop or.
And that's with money on the table.
That's money on the table, yeah. But I guess they didn't even like what I was making anyway. So
you didn't feel like nothing.
We were just on different pages by then, I think.
So when it happens, then, I mean, how do you, as an artist, is that rejection in a way? How do you feel at that point? Because this is the family that you won with now, like, you know,
the team.
3, it's the team.
It's my team, bro. I felt away, man, about that for a while. Even the whole team that worked there, like, I remember I've seen them out since then. Now I'm in a positive mind state, but back then I seen them out and I was like mad negative. Like, I wouldn't even say hello to any of them or anything, but they weren't their fault. Like, you know what I mean? They were just trying to help, but it is like, right, they don't want to work with me anymore. So it's like I'm left back to square one a bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, because I guess the interesting thing is like, you're not gonna be really talking to them anymore. Like,
there's nothing. Like,
there's no catch-ups. There's no
nothing. Like, of course, I'm still ironic at this point. So I've got the shows coming in. Life is good right now. We're killing it. But the team that I had, we're not gonna be working with them anymore. I think it took a long while for it to process, to me, to be fair. Because remember, like, my mum's dealing with all the business. She'll ask me, what do you think about this idea? I'll be like, nah, I'm not really on that, and then she'll go back. So I'm just on the road working, but not realising when I come back, there's no team, there's no nothing. Like, what are we going to do next? I'm not really thinking about what's next, really. And
I think at that point there, this is now when Tiny's becoming the biggest thing.
Yeah. He's changing it up again. Like, every time someone comes and switches it up, I feel like Stormzy's done that.
Yeah, he reset the game.
Yeah, reset the game. Tiny came and reset the game. And it was needed, to be fair, at that point. But it just worked for me. But yeah.
But I mean, I'm thinking as an artist, do you feel at that point that you're getting left behind?
Yeah, 100%. But like I said, at the same time, I'm in my bubble. I'm in the Ironic bubble. Like, just been nominated for Mad Mobos, like, performing at the Mobos. Like, in my mind, I've done everything that I ever thought I would, more than I ever thought I would do. Like, I never dreamed of this. Like, being on the stage at the Mobos, I watched this growing up, you know? I didn't...
Beyonce, all them people that...
That's around.
They've been on...
Been on that stage, like, performing with the greats, like, that was more than I ever wanted, coming from my bedroom, making a song in my bedroom. So for me, I'm not thinking about I need another this and that or what's next. I'm just living that moment of this is Ironic's world and this is sick. But yeah.
Okay, so this point here, so I'm gonna give you one of my theories, right? And I don't. It's not for you to co-sign it, but I feel that artists at various points of their career wake up.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's almost like, where's the furniture? Something's missing.
What happened?
What happened, innit? What happened? When did you wake up and think, wait, hold on. One, maybe the bookings are slowing down, or two, my money may not look.
So my wake up call was a bit more later. My wake up call weren't even until after I met you, bro.
Really?
Probably not until, because my bubble was going on. It kept going on. My wake up call weren't until about 2013 when things started really slowing down. Because bearing in mind, I still get booked now to perform them songs. Yeah. So it didn't really slow down, but 2013, I remember it really, something changed there. And it might have been even UK music was going quiet, because Tiny went quiet around then, and everything just stopped. So even me being booked was stopping, and I was at home just thinking. I remember this was after my incident I had in 2010.
Yeah, which was unfortunate.
Yeah, that was mad. So I've been through that. So from there I started feeling like, who can I trust? So I started just being around myself. And then I put out a record called Falling in Love. That done quite well. That was top 40 as well. And then I just went to this dark place after that, really, for about 2-3 years. From 2000, just after I met you, 2012 to 2014, that was quite dark for me, I think, because it was quite lonely.
I mean, you said that when you said 2 to 3 years, that sounds like a long time, bro. If you can, if you want to, because I think life's all about triggers.
Yeah.
Things trigger you, and it puts you into a space. And then you have to try and work your way to get out of that. But what was triggering
that dark place?
Yeah.
Like I said, it was a bit of everything, man. So coming off the back of that incident, that was like the main, because that stopped the income coming in from doing shows, because I moved out of London after that. Just to get away. I wanted to get away from, the craziness that it goes on in London. So I done that, and being by myself kind of left me in the dark. So I weren't doing shows for about a year. Didn't do no shows, yeah. So then when you're not doing shows, promoters stop booking you. So I stopped getting bookings. The money wasn't coming in, and I wasn't inspired to make music. And yeah, I just felt like the industry kind of shut me out at that point, I felt like now they see that the fans ain't following me, they don't need me anymore, kind of thing.
Is that artist, or that would probably maybe come from an artist, possibly?
Yeah. What do you mean, like my peers?
Yeah, because I mean, like, where would that, they don't see you as being
like,
what you were?
Industry as in like radio.
Okay, radio, yeah.
Industry. The people that everyone sees and knows out and about, and just, industry people. And that could be some artists. But to be fair, I've always got a lot of love from my peers and artists, so that's not been too bad. But yeah, just from that, and then realising, like you said, when is that wake-up call? I think that was just realising the wake-up call. Like, raw, some of this could have been my fault, Like, not having this connect, or not being more involved in what goes on in the scene, or, like not taking that opportunity to make a kind of house record like the Tiny was, or not taking that leap. But this could have been my fault. Even though I've done amazing, I've done everything I wanted to do. Right now, I'm just sitting here with nothing. Like, what else can I do? And that was just where I was at for about 2 years, bro. Not inspired at all. Going out, just drinking, a lot of drinking. And yeah, things just started, my mum could notice it, things just started going mad. She asked me to come back to London after that, after about 2 years. So I went back to London and was still the same. I was still kind of depressed, I think, looking back now, because I was a different person. And then, and then I started like, making a bit of music here and there, and that kind of got me back into the swing of things. And then I met my girlfriend, man, and then she kind of changed things for me. You know what I mean?
You're still together?
Yeah, we're still together now. She just woke me up. That was maybe what I needed. I don't know, a wake up call, or just something that comes in your life to just lighten you up, And
bro, you're lucky with that. Well, no, you're lucky. I'm
blessed, because not a lot of people get that.
That's what I was thinking. That.
Yeah. And she showed me I should be more appreciative for what I have done and more humble and more, you know, just be out there more. Like, I kept myself in the dark and in my bubble a lot, like I said. But she was like, no, man, be more confident and get out there and be your Ironic, like, come on. And she gave me that confidence boost that just made me be like, you know what, you're right, I need to get back on my thing and start making music again.